And staying with environmental issues, innovative, creative and inspirational. Perhaps they're not the kind of words you'd think of when describing a conservation group, but they're exactly the characteristics that have been recognised in GhostNets Australia, the alliance of Indigenous communities from across the north of Australia who track and remove abandoned fishing nets from our oceans. The Sustainable Ocean Innovation Award was granted by the environment consultancy Sustainable Oceans International, and I spoke to their director, Dave Lennon.
It's its second year running, so it's still early days, but it's the interest in it is growing. And again, this is about promoting solutions, which we're really keen to do, because there's so many great things happening out there by so many people who are working really hard to find solutions to marine pollution and marine impacts. We really wanted to give some credibility, and also I found personally, when we won an award a couple of years ago, it was great for funding applications. When you're applying for funding, it was a real boost to be able to put on there that you've won an award. So I thought, well, this is something we should promote and perhaps launch an award to help promote and give publicity to these people that are doing great things. So it's the Sustainable Ocean Innovation. So focusing on innovation, anybody that's doing anything new, novel, to tackle an environmental problem.
And can you just tell me about the different nominees and places in the world where people who were nominated or put their hand up for this award came from? What were the range of applications and nominations like?
Yeah, we had a diverse range from Europe, America, Fiji, Asia, Australia, New Zealand. So they ranged for everything from people studying killer whales to developing water filtration to planting corals on a reef, creating documentaries and a few other different projects. And
GhostNets Australia was selected as the winner of this award. Tell me what most impressed you about GhostNets Australia.
They just stood out as innovative. What really impressed me was they've got a diverse network of people working on the project already. So they're working with Indigenous communities, and that seems really successful. And then the way they branched out and thought outside the box and were creating artwork, or had helped facilitate the process of creating artwork from something like a fishing net. I mean, who would ever think that you could turn a fishing net into something like artwork? That was really impressive. And that was an example of, now I've interviewed them and spoken to them more, I've realized they've got a philosophy there of when they brainstorm a solution, they don't knock any ideas on the head. They put everything on the table, and instead of saying, nah, that won't work, they say, okay, that's a pretty cool idea, and then they brainstorm how to make it happen. And that was just fantastic to hear, because there's a lot of businesses that could really benefit from that approach. Often when you're bouncing ideas around, they tend to just get knocked on the head before they even get started. But GhostNets really impressed me with the way, they're thinking outside the square, and then now they were branching out to tackling the source of the problem, and that really impressed us as well, because they're looking at where the nets are coming from and how they can address that, and that's quite a big challenge.
It's one thing to be innovative in the creation of artwork from, what can be these fairly big, ugly, smelly things. How do you see the artwork that they have created? Did that impress you as well?
Yeah, it's amazing. There's everything from small little items to absolutely massive. I don't know if you've seen the photo, but there's a massive croc. And I believe they're looking for funding to get that croc down to the Sculptures by the Sea in Sydney this year.
Dave, just finally, apart from the accolade, do GhostNets Australia receive anything as part of this prize?
$300, which I guess will buy a few dinners for them, and a certificate. And then we've promoted it via our networks and blogs and various groups online and try to give them as much publicity as possible. So it's great that, I'm embarrassed. I didn't even know there was a GhostNet issue. And I've been working 20-odd years in marine science and conservation, so I was just stunned when I found out about the issue.
Director of Sustainable Oceans International, Dave Lennon.